right, here we go. Start streaming.
Streaming. You just finished streaming.
I know. Yeah. I just finished streaming, and now we're live streaming. And it says that we have a healthy stream. Uncle Mosh, I haven't had a healthy stream since 2009.
Oh, my gosh.
But we got one now.
My memories of healthy stream are just like our video, black and white.
All right, so we are live here on Murf's Fan Cave. We'll wait for the chat to... Hey, notification squad. What's up, Kings Only? Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Murf's Fan Cave for Raiders Fan Radio. We'll get going here in just a minute. All right, there's Mean 519. What's up, Uncle Murf and Uncle Mosh? Uncle Murf. What's up, Murf and Uncle Mosh?
What up?
What's up, Mean? We're going to get started here in just a sec.
What's up?
You know what? Highly underrated commercials. That was the most popular set of commercials for like a year, and then it went away.
It was
those were the best. We used to crack up at those.
And my new favorite now. I don't like the beer, but I like Dilly Dilly.
You like Dilly Dilly?
Dilly just make me laugh.
Dilly
Just because they're always cracking on people drinking wine and meat, and stuff. Yeah.
All right, Ron's in here, so that's the official go time.
Can we go?
That's go time, man.
Wait.
What?
I'm dead.
Uh-oh.
Don't go yet.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Check. Okay, I'm good.
Yep.
I hit my mic.
Okay.
Check. Hey, don't tell me what not to do.
Don't touch it. Peter.
You sound like my first wife.
All right, we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Raiders!
Turn on a flashlight, flip a light switch, strike a match, just light something on fire. Welcome to Murf's Fan Cave from the Dago Dungeon. Join me, Uncle Mosh, as we join Raiders Fan Radio, taking a lighter journey into the dark side.
Okay, we're back. Look left, look right, Bolitnikov, a leaking pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Intercepted by Khalil Mack. Touchdown!
Get that off of
The Raiders!
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win.
What is up? Can you hear me okay? Am I on?
A little bit.
There we go. Hey, what is up, Raider Nation? Welcome into another fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. I didn't have my own monitors turned up there, so I'm like talking. I couldn't hear anything. But anyways, thank you for joining us here on another episode of Raiders Fan Radio. It is episode number 97 here in Murf's Fan Cave, where we celebrate the Oakland Raiders. And, of course, we celebrate the Oakland Raiders on a day where we can celebrate the left column instead of the right column, because the left column is no fun. The left column is the fun column. The right column is no fun. And so anyways, welcome to episode number 97. Can't do it alone. So, of course, welcome into the man that adorns the southern annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk, the one and only Uncle Mosh. Welcome, Uncle Mosh.
My world, Mosh world. Nice.
That's right, the Mosh world. So thanks for joining us here on Raiders Fan Radio. Uncle Mosh, the chat is lighting up already. Thank you to those of you that watch us live on YouTube. This show is an audio podcast that you can find on all major podcast services like iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio. But also, we do a live stream of the show on YouTube. And so thanks to all the guys that have jumped in and are already watching us here on YouTube. So thanks to Mean 519, Kings Only, of course, Ron in Ohio. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, Full Metal Mexican, Joe Jackson, Des Torres, Chevy Raider, Joe Booty. So got a bunch of people in there already, Mosh. Yeah, good stuff. So,
I love it. I
love it. Our brain trust, Mosh. We've decided that the chat room is our brain trust.
Absolutely.
Whenever we don't know something, Those
They tell
guys
us.
do, yes.
Yeah. And they let us know in a hurry.
That's right. And so Joe actually starts off by saying the Raiders are about to win 4 straight. I hope he's right.
Woo,
Absolutely.
come on, Joe.
I also see Raider Vic jumping in there. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us here on Raiders Fan Radio. All right, Uncle Mosh. So we got a lot to get to tonight. As I mentioned, this is episode number 97. So we're going to mention the player and or other significant number or a reflection of the number 97.
Numbers. We love numbers.
We love numbers, so we'll get to that. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the events that are going on. We're going to talk about our hats, Mosh. Let's do this here. So as you guys have seen us the past couple of weeks, so I've been wearing this Carhartt 47 brand hat, which is really cool. And Uncle Mosh has got his on. He's got the Carhartt brown version, and they're really cool. They're rugged outdoor hats. He's got his silver and black UK pin on his hat now. But you see there, it's got the famous Carhartt material. It's got the brass rivets there for the air holes and all that good stuff. And these are awesome hats. And the folks at Carhartt were kind enough to share some with us, and we're going to in turn share them back with you.
Yeah, let's talk about how Uncle Mosh wears his hat, though.
Okay.
I don't bend my hats.
You don't bend.
You're a
flat bill guy.
I like it like that.
You like it,
I
you're a
it
flat
all
bill
up
guy.
like that. Because I got this enormous cranium.
You have a size 9 head.
It's almost a 9. Shut up. There's certain things you're not supposed to say. Okay, but anyway, I got this enormous.
The two things you'll talk about: one man's money and his family, and then the number 3 is the size of his
the
dome.
size of his dome. I'm a big guy. I used to tell people, I'm not fat. I just got thick skin, heavy bones, and a lot of blood. But I got an enormous head, and most of it is because I got Pete Koch hair.
Yeah, you did got Pete Koch hair. You got the silver locks under there. Look at that.
I got Pete Koch hair.
Pete Koch hair, man. Looking good,
All
Mosh.
right.
Looking good. All
Anyway.
right, so the Carhartt hats are fantastic. So, as I drop trophies all over my.
Hey, so anyway, the Carhartt stuff that they sent us is out of this world. It's outstanding. It fits. I don't wear hats. I'm wearing this hat. I love it. I love the Carhartt brand, and I love the material. I wreck everything almost as much as you wreck everything. And so stuff that's flimsy and crappy and just doesn't fit right, it's not manly, I don't wear it. So now I got a Carhartt hat, and I hunt, and this will have blood on it.
That's awesome.
It's right now it's sporting an amazing. You can't see it here, but we'll post a picture of it on the Facebook. And I got a pin from the stuff that's going to happen in London. Our friends over there,
Silver and Black UK.
The Silver and Black UK have sent us some great stuff. Yeah. I got that in a pin stuck on my Carhartt hat. So hey, anybody else want me to support your stuff? I'll stick all kinds of things in my head. I got a big hat to cover a lot of area.
You can be bought, Uncle Mosh.
You can be
bought.
Right,
and the reason I'm not wearing mine tonight, Mosh, I would 2 weeks in a row. No, normally I would be wearing it tonight, but I had to wear my A's hat tonight because as of right now, the A's and the Yankees are playing in the wild card. We got the game on. Of course, the A's are down already 2-0 because Aaron Judge hit a bomb a few minutes ago. But we definitely are going to be cheering on our Oakland A's tonight, and hopefully they beat the Yankees. Speaking of Oakland, Mosh, I put up.
Tell the story.
I put a picture of Mosh and I wearing A's stuff. We're both A's fans, and we actually coached A's baseball teams for
not the ones in Oakland.
Not the ones in Oakland, but we coached Little League A's teams for a lot of years. And so anyways, so I posted a picture of us wearing A's stuff on our social media and one of them on Instagram. And sure enough, Oakland's own Too Short, man. Too Short liked our post. And so, you know what I mean? We'll take that as far as being able to represent and take care of that for some street cred here on Raiders Fan Radio. We got Too Short hitting us up on social media. So Marcel Reese, week before last or last week, and now Too Short this week. We'll take it, man. It's good stuff.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyways, tell us a little bit, Mosh, about the Silver and Black UK. I've also got their shirt on. You can see the other one is hanging up behind Mosh there, the London 18 shirts. So we're going to have Kev from Silver and Black UK on the show next week. But as of this week, we at least want to share with you guys what's going on over there. They have a lot of cool events, and they are, the Silver and Black UK folks are really super cool. They're great representatives of Raider Nation. We're going to get.
Hey, Hot Rod, did you want me to tell about that?
Well, yeah, I'm setting you up. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with these guys. Who's been drinking coffee tonight? Apparently, it's been me. All right.
So let me tell you what's
tell us all
happening.
about it, Mosh.
If I can get a word in edgewise. So London 2018 is going to be a rocking time, man. The silverandblackuk.com has got a week, almost an entire week planned of stuff that you can do. They got, for instance, Thursday night, they got a Jack the Ripper tour. Friday during the day, they got a Mad Hatter Raiders bus tour all around London. Friday night, they got a pregame party. Saturday during the day, they got a party. And then game day, Sunday during the daytime, they got a brunch before the game. So every day you can have something to do. And this isn't just like, 10 or 20 people. This is like hundreds of folks doing this stuff. And all you got to do is check out Silver and Black.
There you go.
There you go.
Silver and Black UK.
silverandblackuk.com. I had that. And man, they got all kinds of rockin' stuff going, and it is going to be an amazing thing. They got folks that are dressed up. They got some
Crusader Raider. Crossbones Kelly.
Yeah, here's Crossbones, a picture of Crossbones Kelly. Show her. It's crazy the stuff that they do. And how awesome is that? We talk about, we're so-and-so's America's team, and we're Raiders worldwide. We really are. We really are.
Yeah.
We got people sending us messages going, oh, yeah, I'm going to go across the water, and I'm, from Scotland, I'm going over there to London for the game. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be
cool.
That's got to be on our bucket list, man.
You know what? It's funny when we interviewed Kev for next week's show. That was one of the things I told him, that now that I've checked off Black Hole off the bucket list of Raider things to do. Yeah, watching a game overseas, man, in London, that's legit. So. Yeah, so thank you to those folks. Again, you're going to hear a lot about them next week, but thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the shirt. Thank you for all the swag. You guys are much appreciated, and you guys are awesome representations of Raider Nation. All right, Uncle Mosh, before we get going here, let's do some contact information. Those of you watching us on YouTube, you already know. You know that you can watch us on youtube.com/Murf's Fan Cave. You can also find us on all those podcast services that I mentioned, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. Of course, it's Apple Podcasts now, but iHeartRadio, tune in. If you can find a podcast, you can find us. Just search for Murf's Fan Cave. That's MURFS Fan Cave. And I say that too, Mosh, because I have a lot of people, oddly enough, listen to us on Facebook, and I get questions all the time from folks because we advertise our show, not paid advertising, but we post links and share it there, and we get responses back from folks that say, hey, I like listening to your show, but how do I do it without just sitting there with a Facebook page open?
Right.
Well, you don't have to listen to it on Facebook. You can find it on all podcast services. Just search Murf's Fan Cave. That's MURFS Fan Cave, and you'll find it there. And then you can download it, and you can take us with you, and you can mow the lawn and listen to us, or work out, or drive to work, or clean your garage, or clean fish, or do whatever. You
don't even have to clean anything. You can make stuff dirty and listen to us. You can make the dirty and listen to Murf's Fan Cave. Hey.
But yeah, that's right. So you can find us that way. So if you're listening to us over the internet, again, much appreciated. Always appreciate however you choose to check out the show. But if you want to find us on your device, that's the best way to do it. And we're all over the place. What?
Hit the button.
All right. Always yelling
Mr. Coffee over there.
Sorry.
You are wound.
Hey, Uncle Mark, can I tell you? Hey, remember that one time I used your real name on the show? Remember that? Okay, here we go.
All right, boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh, he twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you wanted to, you want to, you can even email us show@RaidersFanRadio.com or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget Murf's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit? Good. You know what's so funny?
What's that?
I got here, I got here 4:30 or so, almost 3 hours before we went airtime.
Yeah.
And, and you'd been working for days on this stuff, but when we got together, we were going over it and we're going, okay, let's go. We're going to do this rundown and we're going to look at this and we're going to look, we were all mellow and everything. And then you flip that stupid little switch and you're like, and I should have been hep to that because you had about 14 cups of coffee over there. And I'm like, you're going to be up until 3 o'clock in the morning, man.
I know, man.
You just cracked me up.
Sorry. I try to drink some coffee and get a little, the way I get the energy level
Yeah,
up for the show. And
I can see that.
I think I overdid a little bit. Plus, my wife gave me these little pills. I don't know what she asked me to here, take these and go clean the house, honey. Oh, sure, fine. Apparently they work. No, I'm kidding. But all right, so let's go and get to the rundown today, Mosh. So we're going to go over the number 97 and its significance in Raider Nation. We're going to do our 4-minute offense and talk a lot of. We're going to cover. Let me slow down. We're going to cover We're
going to cover 6 items in 4 minutes. I got you, bro.
Goodness gracious. Thank good Uncle Mosh is here tonight. I'm telling you, he's going to hold this thing together, man. You're going to be the glue tonight. All right, and then we're going to do not necessarily a new segment, but we're going to talk some Raiders scuttlebutt.
I like it.
We're going to go over just some kind of odds and ends stories, play a couple of audio bites in relation to the Browns game. Then we are going to dig in to the Sea of Fans, dive into the Sea of Fans, if you will. They
got a lot to say, don't they?
Sea of Fans was lit up this week on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, and rightfully so because we had a big win against the Browns.
Jeez.
So we're going to listen to all of your voicemails. We're going to feature them a bunch. Then we are going to we're going to give you 3 reasons on why we think the Raiders are going to beat the Chargers.
That's right.
And a little bit of a twist. We're going to give you 3 more reasons why the Chargers are going to lose to the Raiders. That way neither one of us has to represent the Chargers because
we ain't doing that.
We ain't doing that. And then we're going to get into some taglines. We got a tagline contest going on for one of those fine Carhartt hats. So we are going to do the other side of our bracket, Uncle Mosh. Last week we decided the West bracket. And so this week we're going to decide the East bracket, and then we're gonna have a contest to see who ultimately wins that tagline. Then last but not least, we are going to do one more trip to the tailgate for tailgating too much. That's when we take a vocal track, plug it into our software, then we slow it down, and it sounds like whoever's in there has been drinking a little bit. Uncle Mosh, though, I did miss one thing, though, in there. We also have an interview this week. We have an interview with Phil Barber, who is a beat writer for the Raiders. He works for the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat, and Phil wrote a great article this week on Lane Kiffin and kind of Lane's I'm
sorry, who did you say?
Lane Kiffin. All right, then. We'll wait till we get there. But first, before that,
that wasn't a shot at you. It was a shot at him.
Yeah. I'm with you. So before we get to that, we're going to talk about the significance of the number 97. Uncle Mosh, we always name our shows, in this case, number 97, after a player or some other significant thing related to the Raiders. Well, this week in 97, there really isn't a player that jumps out. You had recently Mario Edwards, who's gone now. The guy's a giant now. And then there's defensive tackle John Perella, who played he was with like the very tail end of the Gruden years. I think he played in 2002 to 04, something like that. So like maybe Gruden's last year. And then he was around during that time. But I mean, not really a significant player. So in looking at the players to wear 97, and nobody wore 97 during the Super Bowl years. No one wore it back in 80 or 76 or 83. So
no one wears it now.
No one. That's what I'm saying. Since Mario Edwards left, no one wears it now. So I thought, well, let's go instead to the year. Let's go to the year 1997, and talk a little bit about the significance of the year 1997. Well, if you all think back, 1997 was the last year before John Gruden the first time.
Right.
This was the Joe Bugle era of the Raiders. This was the Jeff George era of the Raiders. So why is it significant? Well, it's significant because it's the last time that the last bit before John Gruden arrived, and the team was dysfunctional back then. The whole organization was dysfunctional back then. And to give you an idea of how dysfunctional it was, and the reason that I bring it up is just I'm kind of on this general awareness campaign now, Mosh, where I feel like I want to reach out to folks that maybe either don't recollect what it used to be like or maybe weren't, old enough maybe to know exactly what had going on. But when people talk about that we're like dysfunctional now or that there's any, kind of ill will in the front office, it pales in comparison to what it was like back then. Back then, it was a mess. And to give you an idea of what a mess it was, in 1997, the Raiders amidst a 4-12 season, okay, a 4-12 season, our quarterback, who used to play in the Georgia Dome for those Atlanta Falcons, returned there as a member of the Raiders, and we won. One of the 4 games that we won was against the Falcons. Well, Jeff George, after the game was over, started running around the Georgia Dome and ran to all 4 corners of the Georgia Dome on the field, pointing up at the crowd, yelling, "This is now the George Dome." This is what we had, Raider Nation. That's what, next time you want to learn about Derek Carr, this was our quarterback.
Rolling off his back foot, not being able to step up into the football.
Now, Jeff George can only kill the clock and celebrate his return to Atlanta. And there's the gesture from Jeff George, pointing to the crowd that has booed him throughout the entire game. He'll keep that football, I suspect.
If he's going to boot to the crowd, point to the crowd, he might want to do it the whole way around the stadium.
And I believe he will. Falcons dominate time of possession, 36 minutes, 50 seconds, but lose the game. And look, Jeff George is rubbing it in.
He sure is. I don't know if I'd want to do that. Just accept the victory and go into the locker room.
Jeff George with a taunt for the Falcons fans who have booed him all day. Keeps the game ball as the Raiders notch their first victory of the season. A victory lap for Jeff George. He better hope he doesn't return to Atlanta anytime soon.
And he is. You're right. He's doing a victory lap. He's going to all 4 corners of the end zone, and he's not stopping.
Did they say this was the new, mature Jeff George? Strike that. We'll be back to Atlanta for some final comments after these messages as the Raiders outlast the Falcons 36-31.
In the truck, they're going, commercial.
Go.
Are we really covering this guy running around
the George Dome, Uncle Mosh? Isn't that awful?
I'm a teacher, and of course, I taught history for years, and we say the reason we study history is so that we're destined to not repeat it.
Yeah. Yeah, good thing that we don't play in the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, so Carr doesn't run around calling it the Carrier Dome.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So anyways, that's what 1997 was like. So if you wonder why we have such a reverence for John Gruden and why we're willing to apologize for him a little bit, maybe on some questionable moves, and why we may look for the good in him always, is because the last time we were any good with any consistency, he was the man, because prior to that we had Jeff George and Joe Bugle.
Hey, this is Pete Koch, former Los Angeles Raiders. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murf and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, Uncle Mosh, we're gonna get in. We're kind of gonna go a little bit out of order on our rundown here. We do have an interview this week. Q Dog's in here, by the way. He just hit the chat. What's up, Aaron? So Uncle Mosh, so a lot of times we'll play our interviews at the end of our show.
Sure.
This week we want to play it at the top, since we're kind of on the topic of dysfunction. no better time than to bring up a couple of experiences that we had over the weekend. So, number one, we had a chance to do an interview with Phil Barber. Phil is the beat writer for the Raiders for the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat, and he was in the room at the time that Lane Kiffin, then coach of the Raiders, was dismissed. And this was a very not celebrated, but what am I trying to say? It was a very
it was coming.
Well, yeah, it was coming, certainly.
Anticipated,
yeah. It was a high-profile type incident.
Yeah, it was big news.
Yes, and so this last Sunday was the 10-year anniversary of this press conference. And for those of you that don't remember, Al Davis had a press conference. He had an overhead projector that came out, and he proceeded to just completely destroy Lane Kiffin. He went over just details of his character. He just really went after the guy in a big way. Had an intermission, and then after the intermission, he introduced Tom Cable as the coach. Well, based on that anniversary of that incident, Phil wrote this article in the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat, and so we had him on the show to talk a little bit about that interview. So for those of you on the YouTube feed, you're just going to get a quick pause, and then we're going to come right back. For those of you that are on the podcast, next up for you, we're going to have the interview with Phil Barber of the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat. All right, there you go. There's our interview with Phil Barber of the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat. Mosh, you got to close it all the way. I'll cut that part of the podcast. Uncle Mosh, for those of you, look, I'm going to put it. Those of you on the YouTube, Uncle Mosh had to go take a quick potty break. Here he comes back now. So that was what I was stretching that part of the episode there, and then now we're going, Mosh, don't show your.
I was checking.
Jeez. All right, so now I'm totally derailed. First the coffee, and then now that I'm totally derailed.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. All right, so anyways. So hope you enjoyed that interview with Phil. You know, Uncle Mosh, he went over and just kind of detailed just the overall dysfunction that was going on back there. It was
crazy.
Just a wild thing, right? It was wild for those guys there. It was wild for the, for the just the sports landscape in general. It was kind of
overhead projector.
It was an overhead projector, man. And poor Al sitting up there all sickly and like, you know what I mean? It was just a crazy thing. So. Q-Dog says Uncle Mosh was chasing after Little Murf in the hallway.
I was chasing after little Uncle Mosh. Man.
Chevy Raider says Mosh trying to let his nuts hang on your tooth.
For the folks,
you just dropped off some Chiefs at the stadium. Oh my gosh!
Sorry, guys, but that's why you're the brain trust.
Oh my gosh, you guys
funny. Help me out, man. Oh, that's so funny.
I'm trying to do. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm trying to do this dang show. This is just a mess tonight, man. I'm sorry.
And we're like 9 minutes in.
Oh my gosh, you guys got to bear with us, man. I'm sorry. All over the dang place. All right, so
never break the seal right before the show starts.
Oh my gosh, this too dang funny. All right, so speaking of Lane Kiffin, so we live now, you know, Uncle Mosh and I are originally from San Jose. We're from the Bay Area, but we now live in Middle Tennessee, as a lot of you know. And Middle Tennessee, so the local school here is Middle Tennessee State University. Uncle Mosh and I both went to school there. And so that's our football team is the MTSU Blue Raiders, right?
Right.
Blue Raider Nation. And so they are rivals with Florida Atlantic University, where Lane Kiffin now coaches. So Lane Kiffin was in town this last weekend.
Right.
And I went to the game and took an opportunity to kind of holler at him a little bit in the hallway, in the tunnel at least, coming out onto the field. He was walking by, Mosh. We were waiting there for them to come out. They come walking out, and Lane's right there in front of me, as close as you and I are, right here. And I go, what's up, Lane? No, excuse me.
You didn't call him Lane.
I messed it up. No, I didn't. I said, what's up, Lance? And it's because Al Davis called him Lance mistakenly like 5 times, right? So I go, what's up, Lance? And he just kind of turned real fast but didn't acknowledge anything. And then he takes about 2 more steps, and I go, Raider Nation, baby. And I was wearing a Raider hat. And then he kind of turned, he smiled, looked over at me, and he goes, that was a good one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right on, man. That was pretty funny. So he had a good sense of humor about it, about Lane Kiffin. Well, if you'll just pardon our self-indulgence for a second, this is Raiders fan radio, but I'm going to play you a clip of the Blue Raiders because our Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders against Lane Kiffin and his Florida Atlantic Owls or whatever the heck they are, we were losing the whole game, came all the way back, scored a touchdown with less than a minute left on the clock. Uncle Mosh, we were down by 1 and didn't want a tie game at home, so we went for it. And on a 2-point conversion, our MTSU Blue Raiders not only converted, but won the football game.
Going for 2 to try to take the lead in the final minute against the defending conference champs. Stockstill, rolling left, the lefty, looking back the other way, end zone, caught! Kozar got it! And Middle Tennessee has the lead!
What about that moxie there? Brent Stockstill, the lefty, rolls left, looks to be under pressure, spots back to the right, to the middle. Gatlin Casey, the grad transfer from Lehigh University, coming across the middle, gets the paws up and hauls in the 2-point conversion. The Guts, we're not going for overtime. We're going for the victory, and they went for the jugular there on that play.
Gatlin Casey, you said he's a speedster, but he's also a possession receiver. How about this?
Look at the vision.
The senior just throws it up for grabs.
Outstretched completely, Gatlin Casey uses every inch.
I mean, when you're 15 minutes away from that kind of stuff, you got to go and support, man.
You got to go and support it. Absolutely.
We support it. We love ball.
Yes,
absolutely. I coach at a high school, and you got a son that's in high school, and we've coached these guys since they were, little ones, and I mean, you just football, man.
Football, man, it's fun, and
just exciting.
And to have that Oakland Raider connection against our former coach, man, to come back and win that game, that was pretty fun. All right, but on to the Oakland Raiders. You guys are here. We're 20 minutes in the show. We hardly talked about the Oakland Raiders. So let's get into it, into the current Raiders. We're going to do our 4-minute offense. Q-Dog says MTSU needs more cowbell.
Yeah, man.
Nicely done. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our 4-minute offense. We're going to do 6 stories this week.
Okay.
Instead of 5 Raiders stories, we're going to do 6 Raiders stories.
Same time limit?
Same time. 4 minutes.
I got to talk fast.
Yeah, we got to talk fast. And so, Uncle Mosh, you want the honors? You want to lead us on this one?
I'll tell you what. I'll take first pick. You can have 2.
All right, deal.
Okay.
Sounds fair. All right, so here we go. So we'll get our stories ready. And wait, let me get your camera on you here. All right, here we go. And go.
Carr now leads the league in interceptions with 7. In 2015 and 2017, he had 13 total. Should we be concerned? Is it his fault? Let me tell you something. Carr is being reworked. Carr's being reworked. He's being reworked by his coach. He's being told, settle down. Consider what you've learned and what you know and settle down, okay? So if you have to unteach someone something to teach them something new, there's going to be problems. Let me tell you a name. The name is Babe Ruth. He led the American League in strikeouts 5 times. He had 714 home runs, but in his career he had 1,330 strikeouts. Oh, I'm sorry. He was a Yankee. Let me tell you a name that you might recognize from Oakland. Reggie Jackson. 563 home runs. Number 1 in strikeouts. 2,597. Derek's going to throw a few INTs, but he's going to throw a whole lot more TDs.
Awesome. Love it, Mosh. And, the guy threw 58 passes for crying out loud this last week, so no big, right? As long as he's got the touchdowns to accommodate those numbers. So Derek Carr, speaking of him, now has 14 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime, which puts him at number 71 overall for that feat. The most ever is Pei Manning with 43. Tom and Johnny Unitas are tied at 34, and Dan Marino has 33. Uncle Mosh, do you think Carr gets close to those guys? But that he's 27 years old. He could feasibly play 10 more years easily at this level. Does he get to one of these guys?
Easily.
Easily gets to one of those guys. I agree. All right, Uncle Mosh, item number 3. The fans left, and they booed our Raiders this
Silly
game against
people.
the Browns. The ones that left, shame on you, especially if you're going to spend that much money.
Absolutely.
And especially since your team is on a short leash to begin with. They're only going to be in Oakland for a little bit longer. What are you doing? It's Sunday afternoon. Where are you going?
Yeah.
And Jared Cook noticed. He said, what does that mean to us? Well, you know, it means that we're not going to cancel the game. We still have a game, and it's all about our pride. We don't care because it's us versus the world. That's how we feel. And you know what, Mosh, I love that they're taking that's us even if it's us versus them or them versus us. I love it.
Gruden, number 4, Gruden ties Lombardi with 96 career victories. The man took a 10-year-plus hiatus from his career, and he still got 96 victories. Of course, Shula with 328, Hallis with 318, our own Madden with 103, and Flores with 85. Gruden is going to catch Madden. Maybe this year.
Maybe even this year. That is a pretty impressive feat. All right, Uncle Mosh, the last time a number 1 overall pick won their first start. We mentioned this because Baker Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick and had his first start against our Raiders. He lost, thankfully. The last time that one of those guys won their start, David Carr in 2002.
Wow. And number 6, when Marshawn Lynch gets 25-plus touches and 150-plus scrimmage yards, the Raiders are undefeated. You know what that means? It's by the numbers, baby. Marshawn's number is 24. If he gets 25 touches and 155 yards, that equals 204. Marshawn, if you put numbers to letters, A meaning 1, 13 meaning M, Marshawn spells out number 96. Lynch spells out 62. The word win spells out 46. That also equals 204. You take 20, which is the letter T, and 4, which is the letter D. That's a TD. Both of them, 204. You know what I got to say?
8 seconds remaining.
8 seconds remaining. TD, Marshawn Lynch.
And they'll run out of time. And it costs.
Well, it's a rookie mistake. The right here's got to go down.
Good job, Uncle Mosh. That was fantastic, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Numbers.
You love stuff. You love stuff.
I love stuff.
I
do love stuff.
I like stuff. Hey, what am I going to do? I like stuff. Yes, great. Great job, Uncle Mosh. Good stuff there on the 4-minute offense. All right, so some Raiders scuttlebutt. So a few stories that we didn't want to just cram into the 4-minute offense. Of course, we want to talk a little bit about the Browns game. We want to let you talk about the Browns game more than us, is why we're going to save a lot of it for when we get to the Sea of Fans. But Uncle Mosh, just some kind of fun stuff in there. You mentioned about Marshawn already with how well he's doing carrying the football and what the results are when he does. What's that first scuttlebutt there?
Marshawn is averaging almost 10 yards per carry on shotgun runs this season, okay? It's the best among all running backs in the league, where the league average is barely 4 yards, okay? So he's doubled what the league average is. Marshawn's responsible for bringing the league average up. You know?
Yeah.
Marshawn, give him the ball. Let him run.
Absolutely.
Man, the best picture from I saw it in my sleep. That picture of him on the sidelines with that nasty grin of his and the hat all crooked and the grass in his hair. I mean, it was just like, come on.
Yeah, he's, you know, if he doesn't scream Raider, man, I don't know what does. He's, you know what? I didn't expect him to be as much of the heart and soul of the team as he's become. He's, you know,
this is a different guy from last year.
I think
Murf.
so.
This is a different guy.
I think so, and he's quickly. I think he not only is not that he had to win us over to begin with. We were already won, but man, my affinity for that guy as a player and as a representative of Raider Nation, it's just.
You know what?
I'd almost at this point. I mean, I'd almost say he epitomizes us more than Carr does right now.
Hey, we're a little bit Lynch drunk right now.
Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, he might be Marshawn might be the guy right now.
You know,
I mean,
when Carr has said he looks up to Marshawn and he goes to him for answers, yeah.
And you know, you listen to the on the field, the mic'd up stuff. I mean, he's taking direction from Marshawn. Marshawn's I don't know. I think it's awesome, man. So, but anyways, so another player that's doing a lot of good. Raiders tight end Jared Cook is off to an amazing start. So his 370 yards is first among tight ends this year. His 92 yards per game average is number 1 amongst tight ends. His 6.5 receptions per game, Uncle Mosh, are third. His 26 receptions are second. His 2 touchdowns are third, and his 8 3/4 targets per game is third in the NFL.
Man.
Here's another guy. Give them the ball. And what's a quarterback's best friend? A tight end.
Absolutely.
And what's right after that or right with it? A good running game.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck, man? Like, these two guys, you know, DC, and I know a lot of people are calling for, we want to see him push the ball downfield. We want to see him, you know, take the shots. Well, that's exciting, and that's fun, and I love all that. Man, give me Jared Cook on 7, 10, 12-yard slants and Marshawn running for 4 at a time every carry all game long. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll take that. We'll hit Jordy in the red zone, you know, for a touchdown once in a while. But other than that, leave it to Cook and Marshawn.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we talked about, we had some players, and I know I'm going off script a little bit, but we had some folks that just balled out, man. Sunday, you and I were sitting here, and we were like going, "Oh man, that's great!" I got to give a shout out to my man Lee.
Markel Lee had a great game.
Was amazing.
Yes.
He was amazing. And how long have we been looking for a guy to fill that spot, man?
Oh, inside linebacker.
You know, forever.
Yep.
And then my new favorite guy,
Rashawn Melvin. Oh,
Matt McCrane, the little kicker guy. All 112 pounds of him. I love this guy. I love him.
I got a 12-year-old that could probably, dunk on Matt McCrane.
And you got a 12-year-old that's bigger than he is. You know, but man, I mean, just love this kid.
Yeah, and you know
what
what?
An opportunity for this guy,
well,
man.
And now they're saying that, you know, Nugent, I thought he was just going to be out a few games. He's on IR. Matt McCrane's our kicker.
And I love that guy.
It. I mean, he's it.
He recovered. Remember when it was late? It was in the fourth quarter, right? When he recovered the fumble.
Yes.
Or the one that got called back or whatever it was.
But he was down there.
He was down there, man.
Yeah.
And there's all 112 pounds of him getting in the mix. I'm like, come on, dude. You're awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good call, Mosh. All right, let's see. Let's talk about Derek Carr. He ranks 3rd this season, Uncle Mosh, with an 81% adjusted completion percentage. What that means is that they back out the drops, the throwaways, the spikes, all that good stuff. 81%. Now, in a vacuum, that sounds great. Now, I'm always the guy that says, well, that is compared to what? Now, I would love to see what the numbers were on like a Dan Marino or even a Rich Gannon, somebody that threw for a high percentage, Joe Montana, somebody like that. I'd like to see where that ranks as far as the greats go. But still, that's pretty impressive to have 80% connection in terms of you know, completion percentage. And then also when in terms of DC, with 1,373 yards, he's now got the most yards in club history through the first 4 weeks of a season. He's on pace for an NFL record 5,492 yards. Carr's averaging 8.1 yards per attempt and 343 yards per game while completing 71% of his passes. That's not the adjusted. That's the regular, 71%. Now, in terms of Raiders history, that all these blow anybody else out of the water that came before him. But blow Stabler, Plunkett, Gannon, all those guys out. Now, that said, again, as compared to what, the whole league's kind of doing this right now.
Sure.
So, as special as Derek Carr is and can be, I don't want to completely sell the idea that, like, you know, all of a sudden he's going to have a Hall of Fame career just because. This has a lot to do with the league's rule changes, and there's a lot of players, a lot of quarterbacks that are having these phenomenal type years.
It's the 4th game into his renaissance, man. It's his rebirth here under Gruden. So
right, but still, there's a lot to be celebrated about what's going on. You want to hit us with the last one there, Mosh?
Okay, so the Raiders have gone 109 straight games since that game without a punt or a kick return for a TD in 2011 was the last time. They had 3 in that season. It was the most ever for a Raider.
And do you remember, Mosh, who that Raider was that returned that kick for a touchdown?
He had a great name. Jacoby Ford.
Jacoby Ford. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
The last punt we've had returned was in 2008, and that was Johnny Lee Higgins. But yeah, Jacoby Ford ran 3 kicks back in 2011. And Mosh, let's just for old time's sake, let's listen to the last time that the Raiders had a special teams touchdown.
Cue it up.
Jacoby Ford from the goal line, a yard. Jabe gets through 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Dawson down the sideline. Ford was not pushed out. He's still in bounds. 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Raiders! He did it again. 101 yards. And this one by far the most difficult.
Jacoby Ford, my autographed Jacoby Ford rookie card. Yeah.
Hey, you know, we got to talk just a smidge about special teams. Man.
But Dwayne Harris actually looked pretty good, didn't he? I thought we were going to get one to go back there for a sec, Mosh.
Man, they just played, man. They stepped up. They stepped up. You know that name that shall not be spoken on here. Number 2. Number 1, what is he?
He's number 2.
He's number 2. He's right ahead of Wilson's old partner.
That's exactly right.
And
your partner there behind you there.
Yeah.
Wilson's set up. He's been awful quiet this episode, Mosh.
Wilson's in shock. Wilson's still in shock right there. But anyway, so special teams, man. Special teams and defense stepped up. Okay, yeah, we gave up a lot of points, but they played, man. They
sure
played.
Did. Absolutely.
They played.
Absolutely. Special teams definitely look good. Certainly looked improved. We're going to need it this week against the artist formerly known as the San Diego Chargers. Before you hit that button, though, Mosh, I got a couple of bits we're going to play. Or do you want to hit it now, and then we'll do some of the post game from the Raiders before Sea Fans?
Yeah,
I got you.
Okay,
I'm with you.
Go.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than 6th-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, Uncle Mosh, before we dive into the Sea of Fans mailbag, we'll just hit a few topics here, or a few sound bites here for the after the Browns game, after the win. First up, we're going to hear from, the man who got us started. You know, we were waiting for this guy to hit the field and to have an impact for a long time because of the injuries. And boy, did he make his presence known quick and early. And in this game, we're talking about former first-round pick, Garyon Conley.
Oh, man, good win, baby. Feels good to get a dub. Big 6, Raider Nation, let's go.
There it is, man. Feels good to get that dub. Absolutely. And we appreciate, man, the way Conley kicked that thing off. That's exactly what our team needed. All right, Mosh, let's see. Next up, we're going to go into the locker room. We're going to hear from Frosty Rucker, I think maybe Tate Carradine on this. And then absolutely we're going to hear from Coach John Gruden.
Man, dub feels great. We worked together. It was a big team win. Special teams came out booming. Offense came out booming. Defense came out booming. We all won together, man. It's a great feeling.
We're not done. You counted us out, and here we are. Raider Nation, what's up?
I just want to congratulate everybody. It's a great league, man. You ought to be proud to be in it. I know you are. There are some unbelievable acts out there of mental toughness, man. I mean, it wasn't going good. It wasn't going good at all. But we hung in there. We kept what? We keep fighting. We stay together. We ride together. And this is going to be a hell of a win for the Raiders. But I want to congratulate every one of you. Let's hear it for Derek Carr. Great job. Enjoy the victories. But just know how much better we can be. Right, guys? We can be better.
First win back in the saddle.
Hey, I love all you guys. I got one announcement for you. Everybody's getting a game ball, baby.
Pretty good there. I like how Paul Gunther reaches out to Coach there and gives Coach a game ball. That was pretty cool. And gosh, Mosh, don't you know that's just such a monkey off his back?
Oh.
You know, after all his the celebrated return to coaching. You know, it's the story of the offseason. All eyes are on him. You know, every single thing this guy does is under the microscope. It's highly scrutinized. And, you know, and then he can't put together the left column now for 3 weeks in a row. Don't you know that now, finally getting it, I don't care if it's an overtime win against the Browns or MTSU or Florida Atlantic Owls, man. When you finally get that W down, that's a big deal. And so congratulations, obviously, to the Raiders. And don't you know Coach has got to feel a lot better, huh?
Absolutely. That first one is the best one. You know,
right.
the first time's always the best time. And that one's his. He's going to remember that one.
He's going to remember that one, no
sure.
doubt. All right, let's hear from somebody we hadn't heard from yet this year, at least in terms of press conferences or interviews. And we're going to hear from a young man, Brandon Parker. Mosh, not as in taking this as an opportunity to say I told you so or I was right, but just to confirm what I felt going into this year was that when the Raiders spent not only a first-round draft pick on Colton Miller, but spent the other pick on Brandon Parker, he was the third because P.J. Hall was the second. So I knew when we drafted these tackles, I had visions of like Taylor Lewan and Jack Conklin. Right? You draft these guys in similar circumstances, or at least within similar time frames, not necessarily the same year, but within similar years to kind of lock down your team's tackles for the long haul. And we haven't had tackles for the long haul. Penn has been, had some good years, but, at the time we even got him, he was already in his 30s, right, I think, or close to it.
Sure.
So, I mean, we just hadn't had any long-term plans there at tackles for a long time, and the interior of our line is so dang good that they just, when right tackle was like a glaring, opportunity for us to address because all the rest of it was so good. So when the Raiders did that, immediately I thought, well, this is their guys. These are going to be our guys. These are going to be our bookends for Derek Carr for now until whenever. And I mean, I had a feeling it was going to happen soon. I didn't expect week 4, but sure enough, Uncle Mosh, here we are. And Brandon Parker, 2 things. Number 1, I thought he did a fine job for a rookie getting thrown in there based on Penn getting hurt. And now I hear the Penn's on the IR, so it might be done for him. You might Q-Dog double tap that career there. I mean, that might be it. But the coaches did something smart. We talk about Lee Smith being like a 6th tight end, right? Big number 86, right? Well, so what did they do? They put him out there next to Parker. They cover up Parker with Lee Smith. So you got this veteran, this guy who's known as a blocker. Yeah, he can catch a little bit, but mainly Lee Smith is a blocker, man. He's a run blocker. He's a pass blocker. And so to do that, to take the pressure off of Parker so he can just go out there and just kind of settle in a little bit, that's good coaching, man. That's good coaching. It's smart coaching. And so anyways, let's hear from...
It's coaching to your players' talents.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's hear from the young man, Brandon Parker, after the win. We're just going to hear a little clip, and then I kind of cut this together because he tells a funny little anecdote about Colton Miller here in a sec.
Yesterday, how did you think it went?
Went well. I wish it could have went better, but, I always expect the best out of myself. So just go watch the film, go back and get better.
What did you see that you want to fix?
A step slow on my backside cutoffs, and then the sack at the end was just completely my fault. Just should have slid out one more, just a misprotection read.
You mentioned Colton. It's been kind of cool, you guys being on the same page, coming up through this together, kind of comparing notes as you go along.
Yeah, that's like my best friend on the team. We stayed, we were roommates in OTAs, been pretty much close ever since.
Have anything in common besides football, or is it all just tackle talk?
A little bit of time, a little bit it's a little bit of life stuff too, man. He's believe it or not, we're both Libras. I think our birthdays are like a couple of days apart. So I mean, we're pretty much the same person, just besides the skin color, as you can imagine. But yeah, we're the same.
Give me a Libra breakdown. What are Libras known for? I'm not big on astrology.
We're really big on balance. We're very calm, collected people as a general. He's just like me. Doesn't say a lot. I don't say a lot. We just get the job done.
That's all offensive linemen, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you love that?
I love it.
I love that these guys are best friends, man. This is perfect.
This is great, man.
Perfect, man. I'm tempering expectations, but look, if Parker ends up being the player that we think he can be, Colton Miller's already showing that he's not only got a place in this league, but he's doing really well. I'm a little fired up for the tackles, Mosh.
Yeah, man, come on.
I don't know how fired up you can get for offensive tackles, but I'm going to find out because I'm all in on these guys, man. It's great. So, all right. So, good deal there. And then we got one more from the players. We're going to hear from DC. Kind of talk a little bit about Faith here after the fact, and then he kind of drops a bomb on the media here. It's kind of fun.
I lean on my faith through everything. Like when my son's having surgeries, when we're 0-3, 0-10. I've been. What were we, 9-1 at one point, 10 or something like that during that year? I mean, I've been through a lot of things, and again, I told you guys, I always just try and be the same person for my teammates every day, and just be an example that way. I believe in something, and I believe that my God is good, and no matter what I go through, I believe that He's good, and I still have a wife to go home to, still have my babies to go kiss on. And now we have number 3 on the way. So now my wife's going to kill me for telling you. But
so congratulations to the Cars, right?
Absolutely.
And so Carr's going to have baby number 3. Sonny just had baby number 3. And if you combine them, they have half as many kids as Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. Oh. Phillip Rivers is number 3 on the name that shall not be said.
Yeah, I know. I should have. It's funny on our rundown sheet. Did you notice what I did?
Oh,
there?
Yeah. You didn't spell his name out. I love
his name out all the way. All right, one more that we get to here. Now, this actually, Mosh, this is a little unique here, is that we have a rapid reaction, okay, of the Raiders touchdown that was scored to what did we do there? Did we tie the game there with Jordy there? Because then we had to go for 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that touchdown, our buddy Emiliano, Big Raider trucker, had his phone out during that. He was at a watch party, and he sent me the video of that happening. So it's
nice.
really fun. And if you guys get a chance, do more of that.
We love
fun,
it, man. We love that's so much fun.
I love
for
hearing
us.
that stuff. Yeah. So as many of our listeners as I know, and just friends of our show that are in fan clubs and booster clubs and all that stuff, when you guys are getting together, if there's an opportunity to just bust your phone out there and take a quick little video of the room erupting when something cool happens, definitely send those our way, man. So here's Emiliano and his watch party. It's pretty cool.
Should have warned you to turn down your radio.
Yeah. I should have told you to turn down your earbuds on that one.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh,
yeah.
that was
Isn't that
awesome.
funny? That's so cool, man. So definitely send those things our way. And good job, Emiliano, and appreciate you sending that over. That's pretty cool stuff. All right, Uncle Mosh, hit us with a sound bite, and then let's get into the Sea of Fans mailbag.
You're listening to The Violator, and I'm live on Raider Fan Radio. Where you at, baby?
All right, first up here in the Sea of Fans mailbag, we are going to a caller in the 559 because nobody in Fresno ever leaves their name.
It's a rule.
Hey, Murph. Hey, Uncle Mosh. Hey, I'm watching you guys right now. It was the funniest stuff, man. Seeing you guys busting up. I could see you guys smiling because the phone was ringing as I'm watching the show, man. So I didn't know if I should hang up. I didn't want to disrespect the show or stay on because I thought Uncle Mosh was going to say something that was going to make me laugh. Either way, man, love the show. Just a lot of things going on in my head, and everybody talks about the whole thing, and I even hate bringing this up. They talk about the Khalil Mack as part of the 0-3. They talk about Carr. They talk about Gruden. They talk about a lot of these different things, the offense, Cooper. Has anybody thought to look at probably one of the most simplest basic things that you would think the team would be prepared for, and that is strength and conditioning. We have a new strength and conditioning coach. I know it's a young lady, not being disrespectful because she's a young lady, but maybe there's some things going on endurance-wise. Maybe it's not working for the guys. Whether it was the heat in Miami or the altitude in Denver, all the players we have, again, most of them are veterans. They played there with other teams. So that's just my hypothesis, or maybe I'm reaching for why we're 0-3. My thing is, too, is we're 0-3 and we're winning 3 quarters, and I would hate to be that team that when the Raiders do start clicking on all cylinders, because I honestly believe that Gruden, Carr, hopefully they just rip it, man. They make every other team realize what's coming for them. And hopefully we man up, we fix this situation. And a side note, if Cooper continues to have the games that he does, I guarantee it. You're hearing it here. This is Central Valley Raider. I just heard Rain Bear out of Tulare, California. Well, I'm Central Valley Raider out of Tulare, California.
There we
Much
go.
love, Rain Bear. I'm guaranteeing right now Cooper will be traded on draft night. We will get that second-round pick back that we lost due to the Mac trade, and I think they're going to rebuild. I just read something today that Carr, if he gets cut in 2018, it's only a $7.5 million hit in dead money, and they're free for the rest of the 19 or 20 million that they're going to be owing him for a couple years. I know that sounds crazy. I'm just, wow, I didn't know it was that much. I mean, that little of a hit if he was cut. So, anyways, man, keep up the good work. I love the show. I need to get a shirt. I just got a shirt from the Pillaging Podcast. I'm going to rock that on Sunday, send some pictures to the guys when they're at Cleveland.
Oh, and they're cut off. when you leave us a voicemail at 909-345-3346, it's a Google Voice number, and you get 3 minutes, and then it cuts you off. So Central Valley Raider, he said it there, so I apologize. I didn't have that when I listened back through it the first time. So all right, so a couple things. First off, I forgot to play the Sea of Fans music, so that Mosh thankfully reminded me of. So after we get done with our comments, I'll play that music, and then we'll get into our next voicemail.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then also Mosh, he mentioned their conditioning. That was one of the things that jumped out at me. I would say this. I don't think that it's necessarily a reflection of, the staff per se. And the girl's, her name is escaping me now. She's the first ever female strength and conditioning coach. Also, Deuce Gruden, John Gruden's son, is part of that staff now. I think it's probably, if that's a case, I would say it's probably more reflective of the idea that the players now don't practice like they used to in the off season. They're limited now, and their pad time, all that kind of stuff is limited. And they're saying that even in terms of like scheme and like implementing game plans and that stuff, that September is kind of like the new August, that because they're limited, they don't play a lot in the preseason anymore. Like, so there's kind of a school of thought of getting your legs underneath you still, getting your game legs under you. And while, yes, Miami is hot, and yes, Denver is high up in the air, and all those things are true. And everybody's playing under the same conditions. It's not just the Raiders. But I don't know. I kind of subscribe to that a little bit, that maybe it just kind of takes a little bit to, maybe there's something to that. We hear it about other sports, right? Let it, there's shape and then there's game shape. Well, if they're not playing games, then like they used to, then maybe it takes longer to get into game shape. What do you think, Mosh?
I don't know that we can pinpoint the fact that it's a female on that staff, because here's the thing. It's not just one coach doing strength and conditioning. That's a strength and conditioning staff. I promise you. Multiple people. And
the Brain Trust, by the way, Kelsey Martinez is who that is. Thank you very much. Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah. And, so it's, they say, game shape and practice shape, and, things mean different things.
Things mean things.
Things mean things, but things mean different things. I'll give you an example. I'm in the bank yesterday.
Oh no, here we go.
No, it's true. I'm standing there in the bank yesterday, and I'm filling out a deposit thing, and this older woman says to me, "Can you help me check my balance?" So I shoved her. Her balance wasn't crap. Okay, so things mean things.
So she fell over?
Well,
she didn't have a balance.
Yeah.
You were out of control.
We will go so far
for a joke.
All right, here we go.
Hit the fans.
There he is, baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught, he's thrown. It is.
All right, now we're good. Now we're official. And, of course, we can start off the second version of the Sea of Fans with Ron in Ohio.
Hey, guys, what's up? Ron. Hey, I'm going to try my psychic skills here before the game. I'm going to go ahead and call 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 turnovers forced by the defense, and we need to get back to being entirely Gruden-esque, so I think Carr is going to throw to at least 7 different receivers during this game. So if I'm right, I think we get a nice win. If I'm wrong, I've looked like an idiot before. So have a good one, guys. Bye.
Hey, he was pretty close.
Hey.
He was pretty close. My buddy Mikey, he had for a long time now has been harping on, well, why isn't this person more involved? Why isn't that person more involved? And he was, because we saw, Jordy have a big game, or Jared Cook have a big game, or we didn't see, we didn't see everybody kind of get involved until this week. So Ron called it 7 different receivers. I don't know how many total there.
I think it was 9, wasn't it?
Was it 9?
Yeah,
they got that many. I mean, but pretty good, Ron. Like, not a bad guess as far as the direction of the game there, right?
And I loved his phrase, Gruden-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was Gruden-esque.
Absolutely. So definitely good job there. Thanks, Ron. Ron says he's going to start his own psychic hotline. He's going to provide 2/3 of the lottery numbers and 2/3 of your future. because he got 2/3 of his prediction right.
I love it.
All right, next up, we'll go to our buddy Mojo. Now, listen, Mosh, we have 2 callers this week that are now going to be made men. So I'm going to hold off on the music until after we get through both callers.
Nice.
So but the first one, this is now the 3rd call that we're going to feature here on the show. So congratulations to Mojo Raider on being now a made man here on Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, Murf, it's Mojo Raider, San Diego, calling you during the 3rd quarter of the Browns game, man. I have a rough time with this one, bro. I'll be honest with you. So I just want to, I'm hoping Q-Dog calls in this week because I would really like him to add Reggie Nelson to the hit list, man.
He's on the top of the
list.
Yeah.
I can't even really process what's happening. I'm gonna finish the game because I'm a Raider. It's a low point, man. It's definitely a low point. Having a rough time, man. So anyway, you guys keep doing what you do. It's always next year, right? Just win, baby. Please win. Can we just please get one win, baby? Later.
All right, well, you got it, Mojo. You got the Raiders. We came back and beat the Browns, and Mojo sent me a message after the game and at some point during the week, and he was like, "Man, I'm sorry for being a sad sack on my call there." He goes, I was feeling a little depressed. And you know what, Mojo? We were too, man.
We were up and down.
When we were down 28-14, Uncle Mosh and I are looking at each other and going, well, Blue Raider Fan Radio doesn't have a bad ring to it. So, you know what I mean? Like, that was pretty rough there, but thankfully our team pulled it out. All right, Uncle Mosh, we're going to hit next up. We're going to go to the second made man here. And so after this call, we will play the made man music. Somebody we hadn't heard from in a while. So this guy, John Gruden coached the Raiders, went to coach the Buccaneers, and then had a big long break, right? And then he's come back. This guy was a frequent or semi-frequent caller of the show in the terms of he or frequent communicator. I'll say that.
Sure.
Send us emails and messages and whatnot. Called in, got 2 calls featured on the show, and then disappeared for a while. And now we got him back for his 3rd call.
Nice.
So welcome back to the show. And congratulations on becoming now a made man. You and Mojo Raider now on this episode 97. And we're talking about Junior in San Diego.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Junior from San Diego, made man extraordinaire. Anyway, so everybody's mad because we won. Everybody's mad because we lose. Which one is it? I mean, this game we just saw was up and down, crazy all around. And you see fans getting all upset because we won, and I don't get it anyway. But I've been listening to you guys all year. But I don't know. I'm just happy for the win. All right, guys. Bye.
I think I was wrong on that one. I think Junior did get that 3rd call in. He just referred to himself as made man extraordinaire. I think he's right.
Yeah, he did.
I think I'm wrong. You. Yeah, no. Sometimes I lose track because we get so many. So anyway, congratulations once again to Junior for being a made man. The made men are got to be pissed at me because this is now the 2nd time I burned you guys on trying to remember this stuff. I'm so sorry. Anyways, thank you, Junior, for calling in. And congratulations to our buddy Mojo down there in San Diego on becoming the newest made man here on Raiders Fan Radio.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
All right, congratulations, Mojo.
All right, so just a quick.
You got
Junior,
a caveat, Mosh?
I couldn't pass up what Junior said.
Oh yeah, please comment.
He says, I don't get it. He said, I don't get it. People are pissed when we win. People are pissed when we lose. People are just you're right, Junior. Some people just want to be pissed. There's nothing we can do about that, bro.
That's like they say about the Joker. Some people just want to watch the world burn, right?
Yeah, man.
It's funny that I'm glad you brought that up because there has been something kind of rolling around in my brain that I've wanted to mention for more than a few weeks now, really kind of since the first loss, since against the Rams. When people really, and I'm not talking about like just having an objective eye and being like, Derek Carr shouldn't throw into, balls up for grabs.
We say that all the time. We say that every week.
Right. You know what I mean? And you could even fairly criticize the trade of that one player that should not be named. Or there's things that I think are fair to criticize, but I'm talking more to the people that are like, the team sucks, the move sucks, the players suck, the coaches suck, the owners suck, like suck. Like the people that are like, that just rally against everything that goes on with the organization and with the team. My question to you is, well, then what the F are you a fan of?
Yeah, why are you wearing silver and black, dude?
What is it? You know what I mean? Like,
because we never had it perfect.
No.
Even when we won the Super Bowls, we never were perfect.
No. And like, have you not been paying attention? Like, did 2006 just miss you? Did 2009 just miss you? Were you not a fan then? Were you not paying attention? Like, to think that now's the time that you're going to rally against the team? Like now? Really?
Did you miss 1997 flashback earlier in the show?
I know, right? Like, I'm like, what in the world are you? I mean, I just don't understand it. And if that's the case, then just what are you a fan of? What is it? Because is it just the colors and the pirate and the logo and and that's it? Like, because the Raiders are associated with being a tough guy and you're a wannabe tough guy, so you're calling yourself a Raider fan?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, seriously, I don't get it. Like, what is it that you're a fan of?
Yeah.
Somebody, honestly, for those of you that complain a lot about the team, and I'm not talking about in particular, I'm just talking about like in social media.
In general, sure.
Tell me. Somebody come and tell me what it is. Look, and I'm not, again, if you get angry because the team loses or you get frustrated because things don't go right, that's part of being a fan also. And you should be. Look, it upsets me when things go wrong. We're with you, but I don't think it all sucks because I love the freaking Raiders. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know, Mosh.
Let's move on.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I had to go off on that a little bit because it's been rolling around in my head and I've now expunged it. All right, let's go hear our buddy.
Yeah, till next week.
Till next week. Yeah, the coffee's starting to wear off a little bit, so now I'm turning to ASMR Murf now. All right, here we go. Let's talk to.
Let's hear from Monster Mash Can.
Woo! What a win! What a win! This is Monster Mash Can. I'm so excited. I think I had about 10 heart attacks throughout that whole game. My daughter Lily was just staring at me like I was a nut. And but you know what? What a feeling! What a feeling! I can't say enough about every single one of those guys. Well, not every single one. I'll get to some of those guys, but these guys really just put it all out there, and they were like, "We're gonna go home with a win, or we're gonna leave this stadium with a win," and they did it. God bless them. It was just a great game. The Browns ain't no joke. The Browns are for real. They got a good defense. They got some good receivers, a great running game. Got torched a few times, but you know what? Perseverance, man. Perseverance and leadership and belief. And that was just emotional roller coaster of just ups and downs and lefts and rights and upside down and every which way. And you know what? We did it. And I was really happy to see, it looked like the stadium was still pretty full throughout that whole game. And oh man, today is a great day. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go to sleep happy and look forward to next week. Derek Carr, just putting it out there. He put his heart out there and proved everybody wrong, and he's the captain of this team, and he's going to lead it. And Marshawn Lynch, man, just the MVP of the first quarter of the season. That guy just has no stop. No stop. Obviously, the referee's got to stop him. He doesn't want to stop, but the referee's still going to stop. Anyway, I love it. I love it. I love it. Good to see everybody on offense kind of show up today. Donald Penn, I think, took a little dive. And Bruce Irvin, man, he's just getting pushed around out there. I don't know. Maybe he's got to go. And then I know everybody picks on Reggie Nelson, but you know what? He did his part. He did his part to keep us in there, and so did the Zebras. The Zebras helped us out. But you know what? Good teams take advantage of that, and they capitalized, and this game went down to the wire, and we did it. All right, Raider Nation, give my best to all your family, and keep it up, man. Keep up the good work out there and the good vibes. We need it. We need it. We need it. All right, guys. Peace out.
All right, great job, Ken. One of the made men here on Raiders Fan Radio. So the rundown looks like this, Mosh. I found it here. It's Jimmy Zebach, Johnny in San Diego, Chuck Splatterhead McCann, Ron in Ohio, the Dakota Raider, Aaron Q-Dog Raider, Red in Yakima, Jim on the East Coast, Yayo in Jersey, Emiliano Big Raider Trucker, Wyoming Raider, Diego in Georgia, Mojo Raider now, Junior in San Diego, and just right there, Monster Mash Ken. And Uncle Mosh, I mentioned Diego in Georgia, and he is next up on the show. Let's listen to our buddy Diego in Georgia.
Hey, what's up, Murf? Hey, what's up, Uncle Mosh?
Hey, what's up,
909-345-3346. No, I'm just messing around. This is Diego. I'm from Georgia. Just calling to say, hey, Raider Nation, yeah. Got that dub, man. That W, that win, it's great. And I don't know if it's going to go on Monday, but what's up, Mikey? But yeah, it's good, man. It's good that we got that win, because, damn, man, if we would have lost to the freaking Browns, I mean, nothing against the Browns, and, it's great that, they got a win after 640-something games or some crazy number like that. But I did not want them to get the second win against the Silver and Black. That would have just, I don't know, it would have been funny as hell, like, for the media to just destroy the Raiders. I mean, it was already looking bleak, but the guys, they pulled out the win. They kept fighting, and they never gave up. And Marshawn had a great game, 120, 30 yards or something like that, a touchdown. You got Cooper involved. He got like 100-something yards. You got Cook involved. He got 100-something yards. Got the 2 touchdowns, I think. Cooper got a touchdown too, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. Jordy got a touchdown. Jordy got the 2-point conversion. Even old man Reggie. Shoot, he actually finally showed up and did something for once. But you know what? He's still slow. And Eric Harris, or whatever the other safety's name is, he sucks too. But what can we do, right? Gilchrist ain't much better. But yeah, I mean, everybody kind of pulled through, made their plays, and we won. So that's awesome. And the defense played pretty good too. I mean, not perfect, but still pretty good. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Go Raider Nation. Go Raiders. Hope we get another win. All right. God bless.
Thank you for the call, Diego in Georgia. Mosh, he kind of identified the safeties there. So Reggie was playing center field on that interception. He didn't really make a huge play other than catch, which was fun. But Gilchrist, I thought, made a great play. He's the one that tipped the ball up and got it into Conley's hands.
Right.
For Conley to score that pick 6. So I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, what do you think?
I love, first of all, 2 things. I loved the announcing team that was on. We finally got somebody.
Oh yeah, Rondé Barber was great,
just amazing.
Man. Yes, yes.
But both of them together, there was no Raider trashing going on.
No, there sure wasn't.
Like there usually is. But props to the other side, man. Baker Mayfield is going to be a name to watch.
Yeah,
dude.
He will.
Yeah,
he will.
I mean, wouldn't that be a great backup for us? Just
don't bring up the backup quarterback thing again. Jeez. You want to talk about the punter, Mosh?
Q-Dog's going to put me on the hit list. Let's move on.
All right, next up, we're going to hear from this guy we're going to interview next week for the episode number 98 of Raiders Fan Radio. But until then, he called in after the Browns win, and this is our buddy Kev over in Scotland, member of the Silver and Black UK.
Yo, what's up, Murf Uncle Mosh? It's your man Kev from Silver and Black UK, sitting here in Scotland. Man, I am tired after watching that game last night. What a roller coaster of a ride. What a game by the Raiders. What a comeback. Oh my God, we needed that win. What a game. Where did I start? Obviously, kicked off here at 9:05 in the evening, finished about 1:15 in the morning. My take from the game, we have just shown that we have got guts, fight, determination. It was awesome to see the guys dig deep and come back and win against a good team. The Browns are a good team. They've shown that this season already. They're no dummies. They had us on the ropes. But special shout out to DC. I mean, that guy, he delivered when we needed somebody to step up and take the team and lead them to victory. So hopefully that will silence some of the doubters who are on DC's case all the time. Huge game from Cooper, Cook, Nelson. When we lined up for that 2-pointer, I was thinking, oh man, I wish we had Crabtree in the lineup, but Jordy just stepped right in there and plucked that out of the air and took it to overtime for us. I'm really pleased, really pleased. I think this season we have shown that we can play very well for long spells. We've hung in there with some really good teams, tough environments to play in up in Denver. Playing away in Miami was quite tough. But we have shown flashes of brilliance. We've shown that we can really compete. But what we showed last night was we can dig deep and we can pull out the fire and we can get that victory. So here's on to the next one. Chargers next week. That'll be a tough game. Really tough game. But you know what? I think now we've got a spring in our step, a bit of belief. And maybe we can just go into LA and pull out another W. And then I'll see our Raiders in London, where hopefully it'll be another one. But anyway, just want to give you guys a shout out. Love the show. Absolutely love it. It's awesome. It's brilliant stuff. I really look forward to it. Raider Nation, keep the faith. Keep the faith. We've got this. We've got good coaches. We've got good players. It's going to take time, and we're already seeing it beginning to pay off. So keep the faith, Raider Nation. Don't turn on your team. Support your team. And I'll see some of you guys soon in London. Murf, speak to you soon. Take care, guys.
All right. Thank you, Kev, for calling in. Isn't that cool, man?
There's just nothing cooler than to have folks from other parts of the world bragging on our Raiders, man.
I know, man.
That's
I love
just
it.
so
I love
awesome,
it, man. And they're doing such a cool thing over there around the game, and you know what? It's cool in talking to these guys. You know, they fought to get Raider content for so long, and now with the advent of the internet, they get it in real time, just as quick as we would over here. And it's so great to hear the fandom is, you know, we're Raider Nation, man, but it truly is worldwide. As Q-Dog said in the chat, it truly is worldwide, man.
And
it's awesome.
We were watching the game together, and like we always do, and he tweeted. He said, it's 1:15. I'm going to be a wreck at work tomorrow. You know, it's 1:15 in the morning the next day for them.
A lot of because we have a lot of folks that are listeners that are in England and in Scotland and whatever. And so, I mean, you're talking about diehards, man. They got to stay up till 1:15 in the morning to watch a Raider game on a Sunday, and they're not leaving early.
No.
You know what I mean?
I haven't seen 1:15 outside of a casino in a long time.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see. We got two more here. We got I can't remember if this guy's a new caller or not. So I apologize, Mike, in Colorado. If you've called before, then certainly let us know, because this is at least the second one if you've called before. If not, he might be a first-time caller. But anyways, so let's hear from our buddy Mike in Colorado.
Hello, this is Mike calling from Colorado. If you're calling the Raiders hate line, oh wait, I apologize, that's Mikey's line. Anyways, calling with a quarterly satire edition. Season starts out. We found Knight in Shining Armor, Gruden. Apparently, because him and Mark both have the same barber, it's like the barber shop was able to recruit Gruden, pay him $100 million for a bowl cut. Get into the season, traded away the best cheeseburger we possibly could for $141 million is what the Bears signed him for. Moving into the game, was looking good. Carr decided to give a couple presents to a couple of the Rams guys, only to end it with Marcus Peters, the last score. Rams used to have a saying that was grab life by the horns, and Marcus Peters grabbed himself by the horns. I was just glad that Marshawn Lynch didn't go on the field to congratulate his cousin. So then we fly out to Donkeyville. Things were looking good until we flopped it at the end. Couple more presents from Carr. Get beat by offensive pass interference, pretty much, with a couple other things. Have a lot of hate in the Raider Nation and the media trying to separate the Raider Nation. So move on to the Dolphins. report in the morning that there's strife in the front office of the Raiders. Raider fans start wanting to jump ship. We're about ready to beat the Dolphins, only to lose to a couple trick plays. Raider fans thought they were jumping ship into some water, walking the plank, only to realize that it wasn't water. They had fell in a big pile of poo. So we fly back home to the black hole, playing the Browns. Pretty good game, but looked like things weren't going to go our way, and the referees got a call from Vegas, and they decided to pay us back for 30-plus years of rough anguish and the tuck rule game. We get our first win. The Raider fans that walked the plank, a lot of Raider fans are jumping ship, probably going over to the Niners, hitting that fool's gold. Got the city of Oakland apparently suing the Raiders. I guess if we have to move to Vegas and they take our colors and our shield, I guess we'll be the Las Vegas Flamingos, and we'll be flying pink and black, pretty in pink. So last thing is, state of the nation, check your loyalty at the door or walk the plank. The Raiders' arc is set and sail. The people that are jumping ship, it's going to be pretty sad when things start turning on the up and up. You guys are going to want to come back. But once the arc sets sail, guess what, man? Floodwaters are coming in. Where are you going to be then? Amen.
Nice job. Now, I do recognize him now. That's the second time Mike is calling.
Yeah.
A great job, Mike, in Colorado. Mosh, what do you think?
Oh, I loved it, man. I love it. I loved all the metaphors and all the stuff that he was doing. That was great. That was
great.
I love a good
great
call.
Call.
Like that.
Yeah, keep
Rack
calling.
him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, rack him. I like, or you hit the Heyman there at the end, which is the old Jay Moore thing.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So yeah, definitely call us back again, Mike. And now, hey, one more time from Mike.
Yeah.
And he'll be a made man here on the show. All right, Uncle Mosh. So we got one left, and you know who it is, man. It's the anchor.
He's got to bring it up, man.
It's the anchor.
He's got to rope us all in, man. Keep us all straight.
Absolutely, and he's always one of the best, and that's why we save him for the last. And we're talking about our buddy Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider.
Greetings, nation. Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, coming to you from the east side. Something's different about this week. We actually put a W in the column, but let's not get overly excited. I'm looking at a little statistical data. We had a breakdown from Evan Grote from PFF, who actually gave grades to the top 5 performing Raiders. Of course, rookie sensation, 5th-round draft pick, number 1 talent, Maurice Hurst, graded out at a 90.5. Excellent production, Jared Cook. Dispelling the myth that, he's an underperforming talent over his career with a 78.1. Burning Joe Schobert. Cook, I mean, he just really gave us production over the middle, which he needs to continue. Derek Carr, once again, playing peekaboo, but he's on a high stretch, coming into 77.6. And Amari Cooper, and I apologize for succumbing to emotion. I mean, I know it's not like me, it's feminine, but hey, I wanted him on that hit list, and he performed with a 72.9. We'll take it. But surprising, proving that, the old story that, even a blind squirrel can get a nut once in a while. Reggie Nelson graded out at 80.4. And I quote, fan favorite Reggie Nelson earned himself a top 5 PFF grade in week 4. Paul Gunther's had his back in recent weeks, even though the fans like myself call for his benching. No, I call for him to be double tapped. Get him off our roster. He continues to stink. And the moral of the story is, it doesn't matter what the moral of the story is. He will always suck in my estimation. Get him off our roster. Yes. But one thing that as a nation we can all agree upon, no matter what you think of the game, how it went, the ebbs and flows of emotion, how you thought individuals graded out or position groups performed, the coaching, one thing we can all agree on, we will not go 0-16 this season. Progress. The hit list, Donald Penn, you've limped your way onto it. You'll stay on it. You got to go. And punter Johnny Townsend. He absolutely is not worth the flyer anymore. He's got to go. And a challenge. When are we going to have a Mistress of Darkness? Raiders Fan Radio. A lady needs to step up, become that Raiderette to earn her button. Come on, you can do it. This goes out to the made men.
Nice. Looking for now, you know what? So just the most recent comment there, gosh, he's so good at it, and I love so much of what he said. But so as far as having female callers to have a Mistress of Darkness, right? We had one, Andrea. She called twice and then went and started her own podcast. Yeah. So she's with the same group of podcasts is the Pillaging Guys.
Okay.
So their podcast is called Just Win Ladies.
Nice.
And it's her and I'm sorry, Jenny, I want to say is her co-host name. Anyways, so we were close. We almost had a made woman on the show, but no. And so unless Andrea calls back in, which I don't think with her own show, she's going to. But real quick, Mosh, on Mo Hurst, I think out of all those names he threw out there, first off, dead on all of his analysis as usual. But Maurice Hurst, as a 5th round pick, I'm surprised the Raiders got him in the 5th round. I'm surprised that, and it's amazing to me that these little things, these little health things that come up that prove to be completely benign, how that costs a player of his talent that many draft spots. I'll never understand that part of this draft science, but I'm sure as heck glad it happened, and I think he's going to be dominant.
Yeah,
over time.
and we called his name off the couch 100 times.
Yes,
he looked
great, man. He was awesome.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we are here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
All right, Uncle Mosh.
I think it ended.
I think it did too. I think it was just us going, ha, 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 ha. That's riveting podcasting for Raider Nation right there. All right, Uncle Mosh, our new old segment.
New and improved.
New and improved segment. So we used to do a segment called 3 Reasons, where one of us would give 3 reasons why the Raiders would win. The other one would give 3 reasons why the opposing team would win. Uncle Mosh and I decided neither one of us want to represent the other team, so we're going to give you 3 reasons. We're going to give you 3 reasons why the Raiders are going to win, and then we are going to give you 3 reasons why what, Mosh?
Why the 3 reasons why the Raiders are going to win,
and there's 3 reasons why the Chargers are going to lose.
3 reasons why the Chargers are going to lose. And so this week I'll take 3 reasons why the Chargers are going to lose. And you
Give me one reason why I should listen to you.
Give
me one good reason.
Give me one good reason why.
So you give me one good reason.
Give me one good reason.
Give me one good reason. Give me one good reason.
Why don't you give me one reason?
3 reasons.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It's always 3, 3, 3. It's always the same.
I can think of 3 real good reasons. 3 reasons.
Top 3. Top 3.
All right, Uncle Mosh, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
No. I want you to go first because it's your fan cave.
All right. Well, that's nice. I mean, I'm willing to share and have it be Murf and Mosh's fan cave.
No.
I'd have to, buy a new website and stuff, but
yeah,
I'd be glad to add you back in.
No.
Might cost you, cost us $6 to add.
I'm not so good on the internet and to find stupid jokes all the time. It would take me years.
All right, so here's so add the 3 reasons. So I'm going to take the 3 reasons why the Raiders are going to win. Mosh is going to take the 3 reasons why the Chargers are going to lose. And so the first reason the Raiders are going to win. Well, when you look at the history of this rivalry, the Raiders lead the Chargers, formerly of San Diego, 63 wins to 52 losses and 2 ties. But the Chargers have won the last 2 in a row. But the Chargers always suck early. And when we look at what the Chargers have done, you got to go back to 2014 to find where they had any kind of winning early in the season. And that was more even of a one-off just for that season. Historically, they start slow. Everyone picks them in the offseason they're a preseason darling. Everyone picks them to win the Super Bowl. They pick them to win the West, and then they come out of the gate 0-4, or lose 8 out of the first 11, or they're 2-4, whatever. Like, they always start slow. So here we are. We're cruising into week 5. We're starting the second quarter of the season, Uncle Mosh, and I think that this is the time of the season where historically they are vulnerable. So even though they beat us the last 2 games, I think that if we follow, I'm all about trends and the way that things, the way things progress. And I think that now's the kind of year, like, you don't want to get the Chargers late. You know what I mean? You want to get the Chiefs late, which we're going to have. The Chiefs are the opposite. They start hot, and then they fall off towards the end of the year.
Ask the donkeys.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, anyway, so I think that this is the time of the year that you want the Chargers, and so I think we're going to be fine Plus, it's like a freaking home game there at that StubHub Center. That the 20,000 people that'll be there will not even half, more than half of them will be Raider fans. So I think it's just a great opportunity for us to win that game.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you the top 3 reasons why the Chargers will lose.
Well, don't give me 3. You just want 1, right?
I know.
Okay.
My segment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you there, Hot Rod. I had that.
I'm going to push the microphone away from my face.
Yeah, but I'm going to But let me give you the first one. There are a lot of rivers better than Phillip. Okay. So that's gonna be the overwhelming flow of my reasons.
Oh, you did.
See, there are 4 types of rivers. People don't know it. There's the abrasion, the attrition, the hydraulic action, and the solution. And Phillip isn't any of those. When you talk about things, and I'll just narrow it down. I'll go people, places, and movies, okay? So my first number 1 reason is people. Phillip ain't no Joan Rivers. He ain't no Johnny Rivers. And by God, he ain't no Doc Rivers, okay? The Chargers are going to suck it up big time.
Well done, Mosh. That was an excellent first point.
Angry.
You are angry.
You made me say that name.
Because you love Doc Rivers.
Multiple times.
Because you love Doc Rivers. All right, so let me give you reason number 2 of 3 why the Raiders are going to beat the Chargers on Sunday. Uncle Mosh, special teams. The Chargers are notorious for giving up cheap special teams plays. I can remember back the days when we blocked punts for touchdowns, right? We've returned kick, like whatever it may be. They give up a lot of opportunities on special teams. Well, the Raiders, as we mentioned, looked pretty good on special teams, unexpectedly good on special teams. Now, I'm not referring to Q-Dog's favorite player, Johnny Townsend, who apparently can't kick it more than 20 yards and out of a wet paper bag. But as far as the return game goes, Dwayne Harris was pretty dang good, man. So I think that if there's an opportunity for us to excel on special teams and keep this momentum going, this is the team that it's going to happen. And just like the Conley touchdown kind of set the tone for us, having that early lead, if we can get a special team score early in the game or block a punt or something to that effect, that will really kind of set the tone for the game. And I think really put the Raiders in a great position to win against the Chargers.
Good call. That's a good call.
Thank you.
So my number 2 reason why the Chargers will lose is a geographical thing. Okay? I want to talk about the Mississippi River. The one that we can't spell. It's the MISSISSISPPI.
Yeah.
Okay. And then of course, the debatable rivers, the Nile and the Amazon, which is really longer, which is really the better river.
Oh, sure. Huge rivalry there.
But we're coming off of beating the team on the Cuyahoga.
Oh yeah,
the Cuyahoga,
the who's up, hose down
river of the team of the mistake on the lake. We've got the momentum. Hey, Phillip, take your rivers and stuff them.
All right, Mosh, I see your point number 2. And so here's my third reason, Uncle Mosh, why the Oakland Raiders are going to defeat the Los Angeles, formerly San Diego Chargers this Sunday. And it comes down to, you hear all the time coaches talk about position battles, the one-on-one matchups, to beat the guy in front of you, right? Like that's so much of what makes football an amazing sport is that you got to beat the guy in front of you because the guy next to you is depending on you to do your job and to beat that guy, right? Well, when it comes to offensive tackles, we've had our challenges with tackles, but we seem to be in a good place now or coming into a good place now. The Chargers are the opposite. The Chargers are on their way out of a good place. And what I mean by that is that when we look at their left tackle, Russell Okung, he's out. Their right tackle, former Oakland Raider, Joe Barksdale, is now out because he got hurt as well. So that leaves Sam Tevi at left tackle and Trent Scott at right tackle. I can't talk now all of a sudden. So you are looking at me like I looked at these names when I read them the first time.
Yeah.
Who?
I'm thinking Tevi was supposed to be Levi, and they misspelled it at birth.
Yeah, so we got Tevi and Scott are now the bookends for the Chargers. Now, look, we've talked how well our young players on defense are doing, especially somebody like a Maurice Hurst. Well, now's the time for Bruce Irvin to clock in. Now's the time for Bruce Irvin to start working himself free and get to stupid Phillip Rivers. Now's the time for Arden Key to get loose and finally establish himself as a pass rusher. We know he's got the physical gifts, and he's gotten close so many times this year. I think this is the game where we finally start to put together a pass rush. And don't you know it, Uncle Mosh? We really need it, because then we don't have to worry about 52 anymore.
Right.
I'm about sick, as we all are, of talking about him, so much so that we won't even say his name on this show anymore.
Nope.
Well, getting a win was the first step towards we don't have to hear about him anymore. An elite defensive performance, Bruce Irvin with a couple of sacks, Arden Key bending that corner and going and blowing up Phillip, causing a fumble one time. All of a sudden, we don't have to hear it anymore, and we can all rest on that. And so if that happens, Uncle Mosh, that will go a very long way for the Raiders to beat the Chargers this Sunday.
That's right. Good job. Good job on your big three. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
My last and final one comes from the category of arts and entertainment. This is why the Chargers will lose, of course, to our beloved Raiders.
Yes, sir.
So, excuse me. Let me just throw a couple of names out there.
Okay.
Mystic River, the River Wild, River Monsters, and, of course, the bridge on the River Kwai. In 1957, it was the winner of 4 Academy Awards. Okay? What other than the Andy Griffith Show, what is a better tune to whistle to than the bridge on the River Kwai? Phillip Rivers, remember this. You were brought down by a 1957 winner of 4 Academy Awards.
Oh, my God. You crack me up, man. Good job, Uncle Mosh. The bridge over the River Kwai.
The bridge on the River Kwai.
On the River Kwai is a better river than Phillip Rivers.
And it's a much better true story than the story.
Is it a true story?
Absolutely based on a true story. Much better true story than the life of Phillip
Well,
Rivers.
and you taught American history for how long?
Oh, a long time.
A long time.
A long time. I've taught American history so long, I forgot most of the American history I taught.
Yeah. All right. Good job, Uncle Mosh. That was awesome. Hope you guys like the newer version of 3 Reasons. I think that that makes us feel a little better, because no one had to pump up the Chargers. Like, come on, man.
And here's the thing. It makes you feel better because you're out there and you're saying all this wonderful stuff about and it makes me look like a big stupid. and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Because sometimes we like to be Raider Bit Radio.
We
doesn't always have, you know what I mean? So anyway, we like to have a little bit of fun.
And we love movies, so anytime we can reference them,
absolutely.
Just don't bring up Pulp Fiction or Batman.
Oh, did you want me to get to those sound bites now?
No.
We're
trying to keep it under 6 hours.
Yeah. All right, Uncle Mosh, so just a couple more quick things before we get out of here for the night. Raider taglines. We got a tagline contest.
We got a contest.
So let me get the hat here.
We got a contest going on.
So
and it's a chance to win Uncle Mosh replica Carhartt hat. Courtesy, exactly. I don't want to get the names wrong on who sent us these. Carhartt is send us those. I was going to say the person that you spoke with,
Leah.
Leah was responsible for that, and we sure appreciate her.
Absolutely.
So we've got a tagline contest, because we always come up with silly taglines, and we're having fun with them, and we we love that kind of stuff. So I've got them all right here. The finalists that made this week.
This week, should we break down last week? Set that up at all? Do you have that?
I don't have that.
I'll get that together and go ahead.
So let me tell you right now, tagline finalists for this week, Big Raider Trucker. He sent us 2. He sent us 2 good ones. Of course, he was the one that he coined From Womb to the Tomb. Okay, that was a good one.
That one's been around for a little while. That's
been around for a while. And then he got a good one here, man. He got one. What happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
Ooh, strong.
Oh, strong.
Strong, Emiliano. Nice job, buddy.
And then John S. and I'm gonna butcher your name, and I apologize on the front end. It's John Savamantufa. Sevamantufa, and his was pretty good. It was In Chucky We Believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
that was
nice,
good job,
nice. Straight
John.
to the point. Like
and then Kevin the Raider Nerd.
Okay.
I love this.
Kevin got submissions this week. I like
it. Kevin came in and Kevin threw one directly for us for the show, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Raiders Fan Radio, where real men wear black and men are made.
Oh, nice. That's good, Kevin.
Nice. Good job.
That's good, Kevin.
All right. So our top two.
All right, so from last week it was Wield the Shield
Right.
the left, so the West bracket is Wield the Shield and nothing greater than an Oakland Raider.
Right.
That was so that's the West bracket. So now what about the East bracket?
So in the East bracket, representing the East, Big Raider Trucker. What happens in Vegas started in Oakland.
That's a good one, man.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, of course, Kevin the Raider Nerd, Raiders Fan Radio, where real men wear black and men are made.
Nice. That's good, man.
Yeah.
I like it that it's show specific.
Ooh, so
that's pretty cool. Man.
Are we gonna ask people to vote on these?
I don't know, or do we just pick?
We'll just pick.
I'll make a bracket this week, and I'll throw it up on our social media, and we will absolutely take whatever people say in the chat, and if you want to tweet us or just respond to the post on Facebook or whatever, we will absolutely take those into account because this isn't just
it's not just you and me.
No.
And I'll swing by the post office and find out who will cost us the least to send it, and then we'll take that into account.
Congratulations.
Oh no, we're not doing that. Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, congratulations, King Louie, because I think he lives like 5 minutes from here. Yeah. I'll meet you down at the Circle K and give you a hat.
We can have coffee. I'll be the other guy in black.
I'll be the other guy with a Raider hat on. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys very much for the submissions. Those are great, man. Those are great.
And we love contests.
We love it, absolutely. And we're going to do another one. That shirt, let me put Uncle Mosh's cam on here. Well, you're wearing the 47 brand shirt, but behind you over your right shoulder, underneath Wilson over there, to the other side, yep, there's the London shirt. So I'm wearing the front of it, if you see here. So it's the silver and black UK London shirt. That's the front. And then hanging up there behind Uncle Mosh is the London 18. So we're going to give that shirt away. We're going to leave that hanging up here in the fan cave for the next week. So after we give away the Carhartt hat, we will come up with another contest. Heck, we might even just do it off a one-off type contest next week on the show since we're going to be celebrating so much around the London game. But so definitely stay tuned for that, and we'll get you a London shirt. Because, yes, we love giveaways. Giveaways are fun. And that's a good way for interact with you all. And appreciate you guys checking us out. All right, last bit, Uncle Mosh, for the day, for the night. Before we get out of here, we are going to go into the tailgate, Uncle Mosh, and we're going to see
who's been tailgating a little too much.
Been doing a little too much, man. Because if you tailgate too much, then it makes you come out a little bit slurred. You know what I mean? And so we take a vocal track, we plug it into the software, and listen to it. And so this is just a perfectly coherent, normal type thing. But then when you put it into the software, it comes out very slow, and it sounds like this. So we're going to celebrate John Gruden this week, Uncle Mosh, tailgating too much.
It's a great league, man. You ought to be proud to be in it. I know you are. There are some unbelievable acts out there of mental toughness, man. I mean, it wasn't going good. It wasn't going good at all. But we hung in there. We kept what? We keep fighting. We stay together. We ride together. And this is going to be a hell of a win for the Raiders.
I love the rest of them chiming in. Yeah. It's like, wake them up.
Wake them up. Oh, man, too funny. Too funny. So that was just a speech from this last week after the win against the Browns. All right, Raider Nation, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Another long show. Appreciate you guys that have been hanging in there with us all the way through to the end. Thank you. Now you see me, now you don't. Aaron, of course, Q-Dog Raider, Joe Badisu, Silver and Black, Chevy Raider. Who else is in there? Ron, of course, is still in there. Full Metal Mexican, I see you in there. Of course, Emiliano has been in there. Appreciate all you guys checking us out on the chat. Appreciate everybody supporting the show the way that you do. Please like and subscribe to Murf Fan Cave on whatever podcast network that you so choose. We are on all of them. All you got to do is search for us, and you will find us, and that is the best way to support our show. Uncle Mosh and I do this because it's our hobby. We don't golf. We don't work on cars. We do podcasts. We play radio during the week and on the weekends. This is our hobby, and that's all we do. So the way that you could support us best is just by listening to us and shouting us out once in a while. That goes a really long way, and we appreciate each and every one of you and your correspondence with the show, calling the show, emails. Oh, heck, we had a darn it.
Oh,
will you do that, please? I'm sorry. I'm going to turn the rest of the show over to Uncle Mosh. He's got one message to read from one of our loyal listeners. Then he'll hit us with the tagline, and we'll get on out of here.
Okay, so Robbie Brown sent us some emails. Man, he lit us up with these, and he's a great fan. He says the offense came alive in the second half for the first time this year. So true, so true. He said the defense has got to quit shutting down in the third quarter. He said this week in the fourth quarter they came and they got on. He says, let's go Raiders. Let's have a 5-game win streak. Bring us to 6-3, and we'll go from there. Basically, he went on to say that overall the offense has played well this season. The Raiders were leading going into the fourth quarter against Denver and Miami, and he said, and had the defense stepped up and not shut down, we'd got the win. And he speaks truth on a lot of that, and he's talking about we really got to step it up all the way around. All groups have got to play together, and we showed that we can do that. So thank you, Robbie. Appreciate you throwing a bunch of emails our way, and that goes for the rest of you. If you get a chance and you can't make the phone call, send us an email. We'll try to get you a shout out on what you're saying, and we appreciate you all being here tonight. So we're gonna take it out from here on out. We'll give you the 2 finalists from the East, and tonight the shout outs go to Big Raider Trucker and Raider Nerd Kevin, and they were What Happens in Vegas Started in Oakland, and Raiders Fan Radio, where real men wear black and men are made. Good night, everybody. God bless.